Hello everyone and welcome back to Dusty Tunes. It's Destiny here. So I was rewatching the Viva Pinata animated series in bed a few days ago, and it genuinely made me question whether or not there are still Viva Pinata fans out there even after all these years. Viva Pinata was a dream, a wish, a desire. When the trailer popped up on the commercials that I watched as a kid, I still vividly remember wanting the game so bad and constantly begging my mom for it. And it's pretty funny because I wouldn't end up owning the game until I was a full-on adult in my 20s. Now, some of you might be wondering, what the heck is Viva Pinata? And why am I even talking about a video game on a channel that's about animation? So most people are probably familiar with Viva Pinata, the video game. This is the one that released on Xbox 360 in November in 2006. But there was also an animated series that released in August of the same year. There were so many video games being adapted into animated series throughout the 90s and early 2000s, but with Viva Pinata, I wouldn't necessarily say that the series was an adaptation of the video game, nor was the video game an adaptation of the series, but rather they were both created alongside each other with the intentions of releasing them around the same time. And much like many other video game adaptations, the Viva Pinata video game and series don't really have much in common outside of the character designs and the environment. The video game is more of a life gardening simulator where you're in charge of restoring a ran-down garden to a state of being inhabited by pinatas. The game is highly praised for its very colorful and relaxing gameplay, and it doesn't hurt that the pinatas themselves are really adorable to collect within your garden. Viva Pinata is one of those video games that you can play for hours and hours on end, decorating your garden in many different ways, or sweating it out by trying to collect every kind of pinata and getting them to visit your garden at least once. When I was younger, I spent so much time playing the demo for this game because even that provided such a versatile gaming experience every time that you played it. Like, I honestly truly loved this game, and even if it was the demo, I still did claim it to be one of my favorite games at this time. Now, when it comes to the animated series, it's a complete 180 from the video game. While the pinatas in the video games behave more like actual animals, the characters in the animated series are anthropomorphic. I hope I said that right. The premise of the video game is to create a beautiful garden that pinatas would want to visit, while the series is meant to be about the pinatas wanting to be chosen for a children's party and then be busted and then do it all over again. Now, the series doesn't exactly follow this plot, and instead each episode is its own nonsensical adventure, but that's what I really love about this series. If you're expecting a wonderfully made series with a deep and touching storyline and amazing graphics, Viva Pinata probably isn't for you. I feel like most CGI series that were made in the early 2000s, with the exception of Jim Neutron, all look pretty wonky in a way and almost give off like video game cutscene vibes. Viva Pinata, the animated series, primarily followed a group of friends and the antics that they would get into while living on Pinata Island. This was the kind of series that you could just have playing in the background, or you could watch it when you needed something to make you laugh. Viva Pinata is an example of cartoons that I really like. The ones that, you know, have just that classic cartoon feel, the mild cartoon violence, corny jokes, lessons that are disguised with really funny episodes, and etc. Now, while the original Viva Pinata game is nothing like the animated series, there is another video game titled Viva Pinata Party Animals that definitely matches the vibe of the series completely. In Viva Pinata Party Animals, you get to play as the characters that we see in the actual series, as well as seeing some of the locations that we see within the episodes. Also, the intro for Viva Pinata Party Animals is also the same intro theme for the animated series, which is really cool and addictive to listen to, and I might also have it on my Spotify playlist, unironically. Viva Pinata Party Animals came out a year after the release of Viva Pinata the video video game and the animated series. I'm gonna make the assumption that this was because there was some sort of success around the video game, and instead of going in the direction of making a sequel, they decided to make a game that would be based off of the series instead of the actual game. So Viva Pinata Party Animals is done similar to like Mario Party in the sense that you're playing a bunch of party games while points are being collected over time, and of course whoever has the most points is the winner. Or in this case, you are selected to be delivered to a children's birthday party and smashed for their entertainment, but don't worry, the piñatas are like fixed up, stapled up, and they're good as new. So yeah, again, this video game definitely does follow the premise of the animated series. If you've ever played Viva Pinata Party Animals, then you probably understand me when I say that it can be just as rage-inducing as Mario Party, especially if you aren't good at button mashing. Me, I'm not good at button mashing, and don't even get me started on the fact that some of the games are just buggy in general. Like, I really enjoyed this game though because it felt more immersed within the Viva Pinata universe, and being able to hear voice lines from characters that you've watched in the series does make the experience more enjoyable. Not to mention the chaotic energy that Party Animals gives off feels directly related to the series, where every episode is extremely high energy. The contrast between the animated series and Viva Pinata the video game is actually really funny to me, considering that one of them is extremely slow paced with a very gentle and soft soundtrack, while the other is a literal fiesta. Like, I'm not exactly sure why they decided to go this route, but I will say that each project as an individual was very enjoyable, and although some people might see the animated series to be very forgettable, I personally will probably find myself going back to it every so often. I only wish that I still had my physical copy of the Viva Pinata video game, but being able to have both of the digital copies of Viva Pinata and Viva Pinata Party Animals still feels extremely rewarding, especially considering how much my child self longed for the chance to play them. I've been binge watching season 1 of the animated series, and it's honestly been so fun to watch. If you haven't had the chance to watch it yourself, you can find episodes online, and if you have the Game Pass for Xbox, you can even get Viva Pinata included in the pass, though you will have to pay for Party Animals and Trouble in Paradise. There are two things that I love in this world, and that is simulators as well as cartoons, so being able to experience Viva Pinata in both of these forms was truly a magical experience, and I felt like I needed to make this video to share my love of this franchise with whoever ends up running into this video. Now, if you made it this far, let me know down in the comments, who is your favorite Viva Pinata? For me, it's either Lickatoads, Buzzlegums, or Mousemellows. Of course, all the little guys, they're so cute. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, let me know that you did by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on notifications so you never miss a video in the future. With all that being said, I'm probably gonna play some Viva Pinata tonight. Alright, see y'all in the next one. Bye!